Today I'll show you exactly what to pack for a January ski safari in the Dolomites, what to skip, and how to keep it under 20 liters. Most important part. There's also one bunkroom item that you'll bring that'll make you instantly everyone's favorite bunkmate. Section 1, the backpack. If you're anything like me and your torso already whips around too much or not enough, the backpack is gonna influence that greatly. A big backpack will turn you into a pendulum, and you're gonna have to fight that, which is not great. Obviously, the smaller the backpack, the better your edges feel. And physics is very simple. A compact backpack close to your center of gravity stops your torso from whipping around so much. Whether or not you get a fancy backpack made specifically for ski touring, like an Ortovox, or you just have a grocery store model that is cheap and easy, as long as it's small and it fits your body, this is what you need. Section 2, layers that actually earn their weight. This is not point blank where you need, Utah, give me 2. All your layers should be doing double duty here. Breaking it down, you need one outfit for at night for the hut and one outfit for skiing. And I'm be for real, the only thing you really want to bring duplicates of, or triplicates or quadruplicates, is underwear. I bring one extra pair of socks. But as far as your base layer goes, if you bring a nice merino wool base layer top and bottom, that's great because it regulates the moisture and the heat, and it doesn't stink. If you're the type of person who wears long underwear or thermal pants, those can be your pants for at the hut for dinner. If not, bring a pair of shorts or a lightweight pair of pants. And then if you bring a second merino wool ski shirt, that can be your shirt for at night. As far as your mid layers go, duplicating them really just eats up space and doesn't help you ski any better. So your skiing mid layer can be your cozy hut sweater for at night. I also bring an extra hat of wool for hanging out outside on the deck. And everyone is a little confused about footwear at the huts. You don't need to bring any shoes. You don't need to bring any slippers. In the summer, you might have to do that, but in winter, the ski huts provide some kind of flip-flop or croc that you can wear. And honestly, you're probably going to be hanging out inside most of the time anywhere. You can just wear your socks. And they also provide towels for taking showers. Not in the summer, but generally in the winter, most of the Dolomites refugios do have towels. Section 3, vision is performance. Now I know the Dolomites has 300 days of sun, but unfortunately you might get one of those other 65 days. The flat light erases the terrain. The wind waters your eyes. You can't read the snow, you sit in the back seat, you burn all the energy, or you fly off the piste like my husband. Don't skimp. Vision is performance. I lost my Oakley Sutros before this ski trip and I tried to buy some other version of it. Couldn't see, wind everywhere. And my goggles are meant for a more sunny situation. So make sure you've got goggles with switch out lenses, both for flat light and for the bright. Or if you like sunglasses for the bright and you want to use the goggles that are specifically for flat light for when the visibility is poor. Tired legs can't fix what blind eyes can't see. Okay, section 4, embrace the communal living. Dolomites huts are bright and loud, so definitely bring yourself some earplugs and an eye mask so that you can get good sleep. Because if you don't sleep well, you can't ski very clean. And definitely make sure you've got the right kind of charging block for the Italian EU plug with at least 3 separate charging ports so that you can share with people in your room. Sometimes there's a limited amount of plugs in the room. Section 6, admin that saves days. Carry cash because the networks drop sometimes. Most places do take credit card, but you never know. You'll also need cash to tip your guide if you have one. Section 5, stop packing your fears. Most people overpack because they're afraid. They're afraid they're gonna be cold, that they can't sleep well, that they don't have enough to eat. But in all honesty, unless you have a very severe dietary restriction, the huts have so much delicious food, that it's really hard to even get hungry sometimes because you're always eating delicious 3-course dinners. Keep your ID accessible. Make sure you bring some kind of ID or passport because the refugees need to register you with the local government. Confirm your rescue insurance before you go. And also in Europe, you need to have liability insurance in case you are in an accident and are found to be at cause. Okay, my ski safarians, remember, control the pendulum. So the easiest way to do that with physics is to pack light. Think about safety first, vision, balance, sleep and recovery. Layer a little comfort on top, but the refugees have a very comfortable situation for you. We have gone 3 years in a row with a company called Berg Experience. Viola has been our guide and we absolutely love her, and we'll go again next year, hopefully, if we can get a spot. If you want to check out the company, I have a link in the description. I also have a link for a packing list that you can download, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Dolomites ski safari, chasing light across the snow, carving lines through crystal mornings, feel the freedom as we go. Peaks are glowing.